Welcome back to another video from the Debate Room podcast. As you can tell by the title, it is finally time to talk about the AFC North, one of the most competitive divisions in NFL history, historically, with teams that have battled it out, have some of the strongest rivalries in NFL history in this division. So it should be another year, another fun year. I think the Ravens are going to be the favorites, as they should be. But it's a lot of storylines in this division. It may not be as competitive as usual, but the storylines are entertaining, to say the least. So we're gonna talk about the division. We're gonna talk about the biggest headlines. We're gonna talk about we're gonna predict their record and stuff like that. So let's get into it. Make sure you guys like the video, share the video, and follow us on our social media platforms up at the top of the screen. That really helps us in the algorithm. Commenting, liking the video. In the comments, man, drop your team's record prediction in the comments. So let's start out, though, with the Ravens. They won the division last year. They're going to be projected to win the division this year as well. I think they got better this offseason. So my question, I'm going to start with you as the Ravens fan on the podcast. What are the chances that the Ravens finally get over the hump and make the Super Bowl? Obviously, we're a top offense last year. The problem was the defense. They were the 30th ranked defense last year for most of the year. They add Jair Alexander. They get healthy. So they got some addition by subtraction by just getting rid of like corners that were trash. Brandon Stevens, I'm talking to you. So is this going to be the year that the Ravens make it over the hump in the AFC and make the Super Bowl? Q.
On a scale of like 1 to 10, I think their chances are about, I say, a solid 35% to make it to the Super Bowl.
I believe you said a scale of 1 to 10, then you said 30. So
yeah, I changed it up. I say like percentage wise, about 35%. There's the fact like there's the Chiefs, the Bills in the division, like they just haven't shown to beat those two teams so far. But in terms of like roster, they have a top 10 roster, closer to top 5, probably the best roster in the league by most people accounts. Like you said, got rid of Brandon Stevens, but you bring in Jair Alexander, who when healthy is better than Brandon Stevens by a lot. This is the second year of Nate Wiggins. Get Kyle Hamilton back playing safety full time. Also drafted Malachi Starks. Should be the best safety tandem by the end of the year, because I think we have the best safety in the league. D-line got some help. We needed real pass rush. Even though Ojabo had 10 sacks, you get Mike Green. For all his off-field issues, he still can rush the passer. So that's what we got. Still got.
I'm not even shaking my head. I'm really shaking my head because I'm thinking about this roster. Like, this roster is insane.
Yeah, when you go through it, you think about it. It's like the weakness of the roster is the wide receivers, obviously. Like, Zay Flowers to me is a very good number 2. Be a great 3. Rashad Bateman, bring that down. And then we got D-Hop. D-Hop is on his last legs and, pretty much the end of his career. So there's not much for that. Likely he's going to miss some time. Andrews, don't really got to talk about that. But off the back of Lamar and Derrick Henry, as we can see, the floor is 11 wins. Should win the division again. Should host a playoff game. Easy first-round matchup against whoever is in the wild card. And that's when the season really starts, whether it be against the Chiefs, the Bills. Yeah, it's one of those teams. I don't see any other team beating them. I think if Lamar could find a way to play, put together a full game against like one of those contemporaries, then we should easily be in the Super Bowl. He just hasn't been able to do that yet, along with some questionable coaching and things like that. But there's nothing stopping us from getting to the Super Bowl other than us, and that's just been our problem the last 3-4 years.
Coming into this year with the Ravens, I feel like if it's not this year, then when, bro? Honestly, like, this roster is really, really great. It's one of the it's probably the best roster Lamar Jackson has had in his time for the Ravens, and he's had some really good rosters, but this roster is great. The defense should be much, much better than last year. Jair Alexander, Marlon Humphrey, they did amazing work in the draft. Malachi Starks and Mike Green, where they got them, great value in my opinion. I think Malachi Starks was a top 10 player in the entire class, so to get them where he got him was amazing. The defense line is going to be solid. And then when you look at the offense, I know the narrative has been that Lamar Jackson doesn't have a lot of help, but I think this is a good unit. It's a good unit. Honestly, you got the second best running back in the league. I think Rashad Bateman is a fine wide receiver 2, probably better as a wide receiver 3, but he's improved over his career. I really like Zay Flowers as a wide receiver 2. He's in a 1 for this offense, but I think Zay Flowers is a good receiver for sure. D-Hop is whatever. He can provide a little bit of value, so a little bit of production, but this is going to be a top offense. It's going to be a top defense. So there's no excuses for the Ravens. There's no excuses for Lamar. He has to put together a full playoff run of elite play. He has to play at the level that he does in the regular season, and it's Super Bowl or bust for the Ravens. They have no excuses but to get there. And if they don't get there this year, it's a huge disappointment. I don't care that Mahomes and the Chiefs are in the AFC. I don't care that Josh Allen and the Bills are in the AFC. This roster is good enough for the Ravens to get it done. It's good enough for Lamar Jackson to play well enough to get them there. So it's no excuses for Lamar. It's no excuses for Ravens. I'm not a Ravens fan, but I'm excited. Like, this roster is ridiculous, in my opinion. I obviously, like, Mike Green and Malachi Starks are rookies, but they're going to have a lot of veteran leadership. They're going to have a lot of help. It's not going to be all on them to, like, produce and all like that. So Mike Green, we've seen how he's been killing in the preseason so far. Okay, I don't support him at all, but he's been playing well. So yeah, that's not even nothing to laugh about. But yeah, he's been playing well. The Ravens roster is pretty good. I think it's pretty cut and dry. They should be in the Super Bowl. They should be in the Super Bowl, damn near winning it. I mean, obviously the Eagles roster is amazing too as well. But they are weak. I'm sorry?
They got the quarterback advantage, obviously.
Yeah, and the Eagles are looking weaker at corner this year. So, yeah, this is a pretty cut and dry topic, honestly. The Ravens should have a high chance of making the Super Bowl. They should be amongst the title favorites. Eagles, probably first. Chiefs, probably second. Then Ravens, I'll put it third. I think their roster is better than the Bills. So I will put them as the third. I will put them as the third team in the league to make the Super Bowl. And I would say the Chiefs.
Why would you put them second?
I would say the Chiefs are over them because of reputation and pedigree. That's literally it. Because I think the roster is better. And over the last 2 seasons, Lamar has been better than Patrick Mahomes in the regular season, at least. So yeah, they should be second or third, and maybe third because Lamar hasn't proved to play well enough in the playoffs yet. So that's a good enough reason, I think, to at least put in third. Max, chances of the Ravens make the Super Bowl. What do they have to do to get over the hump?
I mean, do what you got to do. Like, do what you've been doing this whole time. It's Lamar. Like, Lamar needs to have that signature game in the playoffs against the Bills or the Chiefs. It's simple as that. I 100% agree with what you guys said. I agree that it is completely a better team. Am I going to say best team he's ever had? I don't know. I guess I need to stack it up. The defense is stacked. The offense, obviously, the receiver room is not what you always want it to be for a Super Bowl level team, but it's definitely good enough, I think, with Lamar and with Derrick Henry, with the O-line to get you over the hump. Coaching's good. Like, I think that this team has a winnable schedule. They play tough teams, but I feel like they always play tough teams well in the regular season. I think that this has just got to be, again, does not need to be an MVP season by Lamar. I think Lamar can just have his normal year, do what he's got to do. But I think, again, when it comes playoff time, like, I think this is Lamar's year. He's got to do. It can't be the Mark Andrews game, even though he had 2 fumbles and an interception. Like, he's got to be the guy against either team. And to be honest, the Ravens, we'll get into, I guess, for our predictions, the Ravens might be my pick to make it to the Super Bowl and win it. So I think this Ravens team is very, very good. I think that, again, with the schedule given, they should be a shoo-in for 10 to 13 wins, making the playoffs easy, winning the division probably easy. But, yeah, I'm not going to say no excuses because injuries can happen. Stuff could fall apart. Coaching could fail, whatever. But I think that this roster is definitely capable of a Super Bowl championship. So
you're not asking Lamar to do, like, if Lamar plays his regular self, that's MVP level, like, Anytime Lamar plays MVP level, literally pretty much every season he plays. Like, and a lot of things, like when it comes to playoffs, most quarterbacks are playoff droppers. Like that just naturally happens because you're playing better teams more often than not. So like if you look at most like quarterback stats, like in the playoffs, they tend to drop slightly. But
we need to stop saying that. We'll talk about it at a different time. That playoff drop rate, we should just adjust.
Regardless, you know how I feel about that. Regardless, like your stats come down because you're playing better teams. That doesn't mean like you were worse. But like Lamar he does like he's a very safe quarterback. He doesn't do turnovers, but it just somehow he just happens to do the dumb turnovers at the wrong spots when you haven't done it all year. You know what I'm saying? I'm not actually to play as like an MVP in the playoffs. I'm actually just
play your game. No, I agree.
Be a bowler in the playoffs, so you're gonna be fine. That's a step down. That's a notch down from his regular play as a Pro Bowler. If he could just do that, he's fine. Like he just has never been able to do that in the key spots. Like, and I think the more this goes on with these great rosters and things like that, you start looking at like other things to switch it up. And that doesn't mean you're trading Lamar Jackson. So the only other thing to do when you keep failing like that and coming close, you look to coach. And I think like Lamar Jackson saved John Harbaugh's job. Like when
Harbaugh is so tough to fire though with what he's done there.
He almost got fired. And Lamar Jackson
is so tough.
You can't keep losing with a Hall of Fame level pantheon talent like Lamar Jackson and keep your job. Like you just can't keep doing that. I would say the same thing for Sean McDermott. I think I said the same thing for Sean McDermott. Like having those two quarterbacks, eventually something has to change, and it's not going to be them. It's not going to be the quarterbacks.
But Harbaugh's got over that hump before, and again, it's a long time ago, but he did win a Super Bowl. That's where
I'm just saying I know how things work, and there's a chance that he could get canned if he doesn't at least make the Super Bowl.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I agree. I think Lamar Jackson obviously is an all-world talent. It's just in some of these like playoff games, like where it's a one-on-one, he just doesn't always like the mistakes can catch up to you and just doesn't play up to the challenge. That's where it's like, I think that there are times where it's like just putting together a complete game in order to beat whoever else. Like, I just think that that's all they need. Like they need that one game. Because again, 2 years ago when they lost the Chiefs, I think that was probably their best chance. You got the Chiefs at your home place. You had a great team. It was a low-scoring game. It's what you wanted, a ground game, and they couldn't pull it off. So
they wanted a ground game and only ran the ball 4 times.
That's what I'm saying. Like they literally had exactly. That's where again you can blame what you want, but like, I mean, it's just those game-winning plays that you see. I feel like Mahomes or Josh Allen make sometimes that just don't equal out. So,
do we have anything else to say about the Ravens?
I think it's pretty stamped. Like this is again until something crazy happens. I don't think anyone's coming for this team as it stands right now.
Okay. Next topic: Steelers. They were second in the division last year. Same old Steelers or a step forward? Q, I know you have a bet with the team. I would start with you, but I want to say my piece first. Same old Steelers or a step forward? I should have included an option of stepping back because I think that's what they're going to do this year. I have predicted this in the past, but I think this is going to be the first year that Mike Tomlin has a losing season, and I'm being so serious. The defense is still going to be competent, still going to be really good. I feel like obviously Jalen Ramsey is much worse than what he used to be. Obviously, I think Darius Slay is also much worse than what he's used to be, and I think this could be a little bit different than what he did his last year in Philadelphia. But defense line obviously going to be great, and the defense as a whole is going to be great. This offense is going to be dog shit. It's going to be terrible. Aaron Rodgers, as much as I love him, is not a good quarterback anymore. He's not close to a good quarterback anymore. And I think the resources that he needs to play competently is not on this roster. The offensive coordinator, Arthur Smith, awful. Not a good offensive coordinator whatsoever. And I think he thrives off of having receivers that can win early. They don't have that on this roster. DK Metcalf is not the type of receiver that he is comfortable playing with most of the time. And I don't think DK Metcalf is the type of receiver that benefits Aaron Rodgers at this point in his career. Calvin Austin as your wide receiver too, we got to be serious. Pat Freiermuth, he's all right. But the offensive line still has questions. Like, this offense is going to be bad. It is. I think they're going to run a lot of 2 tight end sets, which also is not something that Aaron Rodgers usually runs. So I don't. This offense is going to be bad. It's going to be bad. It's probably going to be. It might be worse than last year. I'm not gonna lie. It might be worse than last year. I'm being serious right now. Aaron Rodgers cannot move in the pocket whatsoever. He cannot extend plays whatsoever. It's over for him. I don't know why he signed with the Steelers. This is going to be the Steelers' first losing season. I know it sounds like it sounds crazy. Mike Tomlin is invincible with being mediocre. Sure, they won 10 games last year, I think, with Russell Wilson, who people view as a step down or a step. Well, yeah, people view people view Russell Wilson as a step down from Aaron Rodgers. But at this point, I really don't think he is. I really don't think he is. I watched everything in New York. I don't necessarily think it's a better situation on the Steelers. It's over for Aaron Rodgers and first losing season for the Steelers. Now, Q, what are we thinking? Because I know you had them at you said over 8.5 wins. You have them making playoffs, right?
Yeah.
You have them making playoffs?
Yeah.
Okay, now I want to look at their schedule before I made this take, and I definitely see a pathway for them not to do that. So, Q, a rebuttal, if you will.
First off, Arthur Smith is not a bad OC. That is a crazy lie. Like, that's like a false narrative. Like, he's a good OC. He's not a great head coach. Like, he's not a good head coach. It's like Matt Eberflus. He's not a good head coach. He's a good DC. You know what I'm saying? To run an offense, he's perfectly fine. He can do that. He could put people in positions to make plays. As you see, Jonnu Smith. Jonnu Smith made his career playing with Arthur Smith. By the transit of property of just Aaron Rodgers, if you want to say he's the same level of player as Russell Wilson, sure. That's perfectly fine. Obviously, the class of styles is a little different. You got to work with different things, but that's why you still give him a tight end that could, run routes and still be that slot guy and win fast, which he has 2 of them. DK Metcalf for the 50-50 balls, if he decides to start throwing them, it's going to be perfectly fine. He can do that. That's pretty much what he was doing with Garrett Wilson last year, just throwing it up. He wasn't looking to get, 5-yard outs and ends with Garrett Wilson last year. He was using it as a goal ball guy. DK Metcalf, he's a goal ball guy. That's what he is. I agree he's not like some great wide receiver, but he can put up a bunch of numbers, kind of like George Pickens did last year, just better, more fast, and more physical. Now, the defense, still the same. They could win 5 games off the back of their defense. I think you could win 2 games off the fact that Mike Tomlin's a great coach in situations he'll figure it out. And then all you just need to do is Aaron Rodgers to not throw the game away as many times as he did last year, especially in the beginning. When they get late and things are already not like everything's out the way, Aaron Rodgers plays best because there's no pressure. In the beginning, there's going to be pressure, but with this team, with this defense, with this coaching, it's going to be hard for Aaron Rodgers to fail. So, no, I don't think they're going to have a losing record. I still think they're going to make the playoffs because I don't think, especially the Bengals, I don't think the Bengals are better than them. They're still the same team as last year, maybe worse because they don't even have their best pass rush. I think the Steelers, at best, stay stagnant. So, no, I don't think they're going to decline. I think they'll pretty much stay the same, make the playoffs, be a first-round exit.
I think that Aaron Rodgers could perform worse than Russell Wilson did last year. I think he can. I think he can. Like I think he's not a bad quarterback. He's more so average, but he's heading towards bad. I think personally, and I think even Russ was more like mobile than him, which like he made plays outside the pocket and like a lot of moon balls and stuff like that. I don't know if Aaron Rodgers can really complete those at this point in his career. I don't know. Max, what's your take?
I'm split in the middle. I don't think this team moved very much, in all honesty. I think this team is pretty similar to what it was last year. You get a question mark at quarterback. You have a ex-receiver who has shown that he can be very, very good, and at the same time have bad games.
How many years ago was that, man?
Huh?
How many years ago was that?
He was productive last year with Geno, but like 2 years ago, he wasn't bad last year, no?
So this past season, he was not great. He was average.
Like
the year before,
I'm taking him over. Like he's a upper half a good receiver in the NFL. Like I'm not taking that far. And I think especially with whatever Pickens' mentality was with the Steelers, like I think it's fine. Like it's a pretty one for one swap. I'm not pissed off at it. So the running back room, I honestly think they're trying to pay more at the O-line. Like I don't know. I like Caleb Johnson actually a lot. I think him and Jalen Warren can work. I think that their 2 tight end sets work better with a guy like Justin Fields and the rushing ability.
But also, like even in his prime, that's not something that suited Aaron Rodgers though. Like that's not the type of sets he ran. I don't think Arthur Smith, whether he's a good OC or not, I don't think he's a good fit for Aaron Rodgers.
But that's why you have the tight ends that can win fast and win short. So no, Pat Freiermuth and Jonnu Smith win fast and win short. So they'll take the place of that route running slot guy that he's used to, and do all of that work. And then when you take your shots with DK Metcalf. Like Aaron Rodgers can still throw the ball. If he sees somebody open or get open, he's going to throw the ball. He's not.
Go back. I'm sorry. My fault. My dog started barking, obviously. I think this offense has improved slightly as far as the weapons around it. I wasn't super high in the weapons room last year. I think that getting Jonnu Smith helps. Obviously, the defense is still going to be good. Replacing Minka with someone who wants to be there, I think obviously works. Arthur Smith, I agree with Q. I wouldn't call him a good OC, obviously, but I think he's solid. I think that he's better than what Matt Canada ever did there. I think this team will be fine. I think they'll be an exact Steelers team where they win a couple of games and they lose a couple of games that they shouldn't win or they should win, whatever. But I think that they'll be sitting around 8-9, 9-8. I think it's all up to the divisional games, how they do against the Bengals, and if they can steal one versus the Ravens. I think that's where I'm looking to see if the pendulum swings. But they have easy games against the Jets, the Dolphins, who I think they can win basically off their defense alone. Again, I think the Jets have a good defense. I think the Steelers have a good defense. You can say it cancels out, but Justin Fields, maybe it's a revenge game, but it's a revenge game for Aaron Rodgers too. I think Mike Tomlin can win that game off coaching though, with what Q was saying. So I honestly think that this team is not. I would not pick them to make the playoffs. I would say they'd be right in the hunt area, but I also don't think they're going to take that much of a step off. I think they'll be a basic Steelers team. I don't know if they'll win. Honestly, a losing season would be possible at 8-9, but I'm not saying they're dropping off as far.
I'm not saying they're going to be 6-11. I'm not saying that.
You're saying okay, so you're 7-10, 8-9.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm at. 7-10, 8-9.
Right.
It depends on what the Ravens is at in week 6. Last week.
That's fair.
I think they lose the Ravens twice. I think they split with the Bengals. They split with the they probably split with the Browns or beat the Browns twice. One of those two. But can I see them splitting with the Browns? Absolutely.
That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
Absolutely. Yes, I can see it happening. But all right, let's move. Are we done with the Steelers? I think I got my TikTok segment in. That was enough.
He's nuts.
All right. Next up, the Bengals. Will the Bengals miss the playoffs for the second season in a row? Last year, dominant offense. Oh, third season in a row?
They already missed it twice in a row.
Wait, what?
They didn't make the playoffs in 2 straight years.
Okay. Well, let me edit that in. I was not aware.
Yeah, they went 9-8 the last 2 years.
Because Joe Burrow got hurt, huh? Yeah. Okay. Will the Bengals miss the playoffs for the 3rd year in a row this upcoming season? We know their defense was awful last year. It seems like they didn't do much to add to it. They had a controversy with a rookie this year. Trey Henderson is still not playing right now, so their best pass rusher is not in the building. All signs are pointing to this defense being terrible again. They got cooked again by the Eagles in the preseason. They were playing their ones. The Eagles were playing their 2s and 3s. Max, will the Bengals miss the playoffs for the 3rd season in a row?
So I think I got 3 teams hovering around that 7 spot of who's going to make the playoffs. And I've already pissed Broncos fans off enough. So I think I honestly might put the Bengals in that 7 spot for the playoffs. But at the end of the day, like this all comes down to, can Joe Burrow have an MVP kind of year? And I saw a TikTok or a video about this before. Like they're already setting up, huh?
Yeah, I won last year.
And that's what I'm saying. I've already seen this TikTok or this video about Joe Burrow has already set up. They're setting up the narrative for a Joe Burrow MVP kind of season, and there is an alley to where it could happen if they are able to win some of these, in my opinion, 50-50 games that they have. Again, I think they have a lot of these games where having Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, Chase Brown, and T. Higgins puts you in the game and gives you a chance to beat a lot of these teams if it comes to a shootout. I think that they have, again, you play tough teams like the Ravens and the Bills, who they've shown they can play close with, but you get the Dolphins, you get the Cardinals, you get the Patriots, you get the Bears, you get the Jets, you get the Steelers, the Packers, the Broncos. If you can beat your division teams, there's an alley for this team to get 10 wins easy. If you can win the division games, if you can split it even, I think there's a way this team can get 10 games. I'm not going to say without any struggles, but pretty easily with this team. The defense is bad. That's not a debate, though. The defense is very bad, and it's going to be on Joe Burrow to have this crazy year in order to do it. So, again, I think it's going to be tight on that last playoff spot. I think you'll have the Broncos up there. I'm higher on the Patriots than other people. I think they'll be competing up there. I think the Bengals will be up there. The Raiders probably will get a couple games here and there. I don't know who else. The Steelers probably. But this team, if they can handle business in the division, could definitely make the playoffs and set themselves up with a first game against maybe the Chiefs, a team who they beat once in the playoffs before. But I don't know. I just focus on the playoffs for right now. So I think that they definitely have a chance to make it.
Q, your response to that, because I mean they were one game away last year, and they had to lose to the Patriots to be there, one game away. Joe Burrow, while he had a great season last year, has not played well in the clutch. Last year he did not. Contrary to popular belief, he's not that clutch of a quarterback. So, what are your thoughts on the Bengals missing the playoffs for a third straight season, or they make it this year?
I just don't see nobody. You can't really give me a credible argument for why the season not going to go exactly how it went last year. And sure, they had to lose to the Patriots to not miss out, but that happened in the first game of the season. Your season shouldn't have to come down to the first game of the season. If you handled business throughout, then that one loss wouldn't have mattered. And the Broncos, if the Chiefs weren't so good, they might have won the playoffs because the Broncos would have, they would have to actually play and whatnot. They would have lost and they would never make the playoffs either. But you can't keep waiting on you can't let your destiny lie in other teams' hands, because that's how you get screwed. Especially if people know that they will do certain things just so you won't get there. You still play a bunch of very good offenses, so you're still going to be in a bunch of shootouts, and they're not equipped to win those games. Last year Joe Burrow had 30 touchdowns and 3 interceptions and losses. You just can't keep building a team like that. You opted to pay both your receivers, but you in contract holdouts with your 2 best pass rushers. You don't got no real corners. You don't got no linebackers. You don't got no real D-line. You didn't address the things that you need to address. You just doubled down and got more expensive on the things you did last year. And having a crazy year to make the playoffs he had a crazy year last year. They didn't make the playoffs. And the year before that, you could say he got hurt, but he got hurt and they were 5-4. And they still won. They won as many games with him as they did without. You can't, team just isn't, they aren't great. They have a great quarterback. They have a great wide receiver duo. They're not a great team. And those type of teams usually don't continuously make the playoffs. So I think they're not going to miss the playoff. Not make the playoffs. And I think Zach Taylor is going to get fired. Whoever they're either going to bring somebody in, or Joe Burrow might push that panic button. I think that'd be their worst nightmare. Because that'd be
you said, can you repeat that for me?
I said they're not going to make the playoffs. Zach Taylor is going to get fired. From then on, Joe Burrow could push that request trade button, or they could bring in somebody that's competent enough. But who wants to coach for the Bengals and under that ownership if they're not going to spend money in the right spots?
No, I would agree. I got to look at their schedule when we go through the schedule, but the team did not get better unless Shamar Stewart is just dominant, which I think it's going to be taking him a few years to really get his feet wet in the NFL. This team they're not their corners are awful. Their corners are awful. The linebackers are not good. The D-line has some potential with Henderson if he can actually get there, and Shamar Stewart. But it's gonna be tough for them to generate pressure. It's gonna be tough for them to stop the pass. It's gonna be tough for them to stop the run. They played a lot of good offenses on their schedule, and it's gonna be tough for them. I think. If it comes, I think personally, if it comes down to the Steelers, Raiders, and Bengals, I am probably a little bit more confident in the Bengals, and I'll probably give them a nod. I mean, I was just going off what Max said. I'm not gonna lie.
that was like the 5th team I said in the playoff hunt.
Wait, who did you say?
I said the Patriots were farther up, in my opinion. The Broncos, the Steelers.
Oh, Broncos. Yeah. You said the Patriots. Patriots is not crazier than the Raiders, for sure. It's not. But
honestly, yeah. We might have to actually have. I had a bet last year. Not even a bet, but my Vikings over the Bucks take was laughed at last year. It might be Patriots over the Raiders this year.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with Q here, though. I think that they
take a step back.
Well, I think they're going to be in the mix for playoffs. I think they'll probably go about 9-8 again. They'll be in the mix for the playoffs. I got to look at their record specifically to count wins, but they're going to be in the mix. They're going to be in the mix. They didn't do anything in the offseason to inspire you that they're going to be much better this year at all whatsoever. Joe Burrow had Max. You brought up the point that he needs to have an MVP level season. It was an argument that he was the best quarterback in the league last year, like at least second. Like you could have made the argument that he should have been.
What I'm saying, what were they 9-8? 9-8.
Yeah, they were 9-8. But
I'm saying, like, I think with the maybe easier schedule now, a couple of games with the other, huh?
Joe Burrow was the second best quarterback in the league last year, like numbers wise, and he did not. They didn't make the playoffs.
Hold on,
like, Josh Allen did not have a better year than him statistically.
No, I don't think nobody arguing that.
No, not this one. Sorry, I'm trying to.
I just think you could have those same numbers, just have the same exact season. There's nothing stopping me from saying they're gonna have the same.
Jamar Chase was the triple crown winner. Like, is he gonna repeat that?
They didn't get better. They got more expensive. Like, that's it. You paid more money to people you already had. Whoop-de-doo. Like,
hey, man, they were 9-8 last year. That's one game away from 10-7.
And they were 9-8 the year before that. And then they were squeaking.
Burrow went down, no?
What I'm saying is they squeaked in the year before that. They squeaked in at 10-7 because Lamar got hurt. And then the year before that, they squeaked in at 10-7.
No, it's not true. They're 12-4 and 22.
You sure?
Yeah, I just looked this up. I thought Bengals.
They was.
Yeah, they're 12-4. Not squeaked in.
12-4, and they had the home game.
Yeah, 12-4 and 22. 21, 10-7, and went to the Super Bowl. Went to the Soupy.
That Super Bowl run is very, 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 very overrated.
Let's get to the hottest topic of the pod. Who should be the starter for the Browns in Week 1? The Browns have like 6 quarterbacks in the roster right now, including Tyler Huntley. You had a debate about this afterwards.
Tyler Huntley, put some respect.
They drafted 2 quarterbacks in the draft, which I thought that was stupid. I still think it's stupid because they drafted their worst quarterback prospect first. But hey, they have 6 quarterbacks on the roster. I think I'll let you guys go first. So I'll say my take first. Like,
I got my take set up. I'm ready. So
yeah, you got your lines.
I'm ready. I got my lines. I think at some point Shedeur Sanders has to start for the Browns. Would I start him in Week 1? No. Their schedule to start is pretty brutal for any rookie quarterback to come in and play, much less Shedeur Sanders, who struggles with his pocket presence and dealing with pressure. Eagles, Rams, Bengals, Ravens, Packers, Lions, Vikings, Steelers, Dolphins get a lot of pressure. Patriots. I would start Shedeur Sanders after their bye. They're not going to win many of those games at all, but that's when I would start Shedeur Sanders. I think Shedeur Sanders has the most upside of any quarterback on this roster. Clearly, I think he's clearly a better prospect than Dylan Gabriel. It was a stupid mistake to draft him. A 5'11" quarterback that's left-handed that was not better than Shedeur Sanders in college, like whatsoever. That was a dumb pick. He's not going to be a good quarterback. He's not going to be a good backup quarterback. But I think Shedeur Sanders, after the bye week, you let him show what he has for half a season. That should be the plan. But overall, the Browns should not be trying to win at all this year. They should be trying to lose, and they should be seeing what Shedeur Sanders has. No one else here has upside, in my opinion. Flacco is old and about to be out of the league. Deshaun Watson should never play a down football ever again in his life. Kenny Pickett is awful. They need to be losing so they can get a top pick in this year's draft, capitalize on having 2 first-round picks next year, and trade Myles Garrett. Either trade him at the deadline or trade him in the offseason. He's getting up there in age. He's still one of the best players in the entire NFL. You can kickstart your rebuild with 2 first-round picks in this draft and whatever assets you get from Myles Garrett's trade. It makes the perfect amount of sense. That should be the game plan for the Browns whole year. There he goes. Start Joe Flacco for the first 8 weeks of the season. He's old. Let him get beat up. He probably gives you the best chance to win, I guess, but he's not going to win games. And then after the bye week, start Shedeur Sanders. That should be the plan for this year. What do you guys think about what I just said?
I got it. Can I go?
Yeah. What's up?
We're starting Joe Flacco week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5, and I believe all the way up to week 6. Week 7, let me make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Week 7, the Browns host the Miami Dolphins, a team that I do not expect to be on anything this year, and a team that I don't think will have the defense that will be as scary for Shedeur. And I think that's when Shedeur makes his NFL debut against Miami in week 7 on a cold October Sunday. It's going to be October 19th. He then follows that up with the Patriots, the Jets, gets a bye week in between. The Patriots have a good defense, obviously. The Jets have a tough defense, but the offenses will keep them in the game because the offenses might not be there yet. Again, the Browns are a dumpster fire. Their team's terrible, but those 2 games are going to be easier ones on your schedule. I still think they lose. Then they go up against the Ravens. So I think you have 3 games and a bye week to ramp up to play against a great team in the Baltimore Ravens. And to be honest, I don't know if there's really another way to go about it because I agree. I think everything that you hear from camp, I think the stuff I need to see Dillon Gabriel play more in the preseason, but Dillon Gabriel is not the center of attention. Again, it is obviously Shedeur, but for a good reason. Shadeur's looked good at times in this preseason and in camps. I don't know what Kenny Pickett's there for. Unfortunately, Kenny Pickett's I feel like he does not have a role there. I think Joe Flacco is the best for your positional players, guys who are trying to fight for contracts, guys who are trying to fight for playing time next year. Again, I don't think the Browns are going to be a great team, but Joe Flacco is an experienced quarterback. He could learn a lot. He could teach Shedeur a lot, I think, from being in the league forever. He honestly was not bad in some of these games in 2024. Looking back on it, he wasn't terrible. He had some bright spots for the Colts. So, I'm not really that pressed. Again, he's not trying to win football games. I agree. But to go out there, gunslinging quarterback, to give your guys reps, to give an actual competent offense, is he going to be great? Probably not, but he'll let go of the football. He will make good passes. Again, he's old, but he's an experienced veteran quarterback, and I think he'll still be able to get the ball out to guys. I think that's the best way this operation is going to work, and I think Shedeur should be starting in week 7 against Miami. I agree, though. I think this year should almost be a punt, and you just see what you have in your players as much as possible. And I think your best ally for that is giving Shedeur Sanders, again, time to fail, time to do as much as he can from as many weeks as he can. So if you can give him 10 weeks, 11 weeks full of success, failures, and whatever, that's all you need. You got to put him in real game situations against, again, divisional opponents, against good teams, against bad teams. So I think the sooner you can get Shedeur Sanders on the field, or Dillon Gabriel, I guess, if you end up believing in him. But I think that's the best plan of action.
All right. So I'm going to adjust a few things. 1, the Browns did not want Shedeur.
No.
They didn't pick pick their worst quarterback prospect first. They picked the quarterback that they wanted. Andrew Berry and Kevin Stefanski wanted Dylan Gabriel. Whether you think that was the right or wrong decision doesn't matter because 3 other teams took quarterbacks and they also didn't take Shador. So if you're going to crucify the Browns, you got to crucify the Giants for trading back into the first and taking Jackson Dart, who looked just as good, if not better than Shador. And then you got to criticize the Saints for taking Tyler Shaw, who looked also okay in their preseason game. The Browns took Dylan Gabriel because they wanted Dylan Gabriel. They wanted to get out of that story, the whole paparazzi media cowboy situation that seemed that now they do have because they took Shador. Jimmy Haslam is a person that loves controversy and doing things just like that. So the more you see Shador slide, the more it's like, all right, now you got to take him. From all accounts, from everybody except for Jimmy Haslam himself, pretty much believed that he's the one that asked him to take Shador because he was there in the 5th round. He's the one who signed the checks. We're going to have to listen to him, take Shador, whatever the case may be. But they did not want him. Believe what they do. Don't believe what they say. They wanted Dylan Gabriel, so they was fine picking Dylan Gabriel and going down with the fire with their 2 first-round picks and drafting quarterback next year. But Shador right there fell in your lap. You got to take him, whatever the case may be. Obviously, he had a good preseason game. He showed you a lot more than basically what everybody else has shown you so thus far in camp. That's 1. 2, their future is very bleak. They still have to deal with Deshaun Watson. They added new money into Myles Garrett. They don't want to win, but they want to win because jobs are on the line, tape is on the line. There's other people's careers that's on the line, and you got Jimmy Haslam messing it up for everybody. Also, you're doing exactly what Jerry Jones does. Shador is in a win-win situation because if he goes out and balls and wins a starting job, everybody's going to be like, "I told you so." If he fails, they're not going to put his failures on him. They're going to put his failures on the Browns organization for not setting him up for success because they took him in the 5th round. They had him on the depth chart. They didn't let him run with the ones. So no matter what, for a good amount of time, up until probably 10 years from now, when he just if it so happens he never ever gets to stick into the league, they're going to just continuously blame the Browns for that, and they're going to call it collusion, racism, reverse nepotism, whatever they want to call it, because everybody do it all the time. Anytime something sets back from what they think should happen for Shador, it's always they colluded. They set him up for fail. They're doing this and the third. Like that's always going to be the story. So he's never going to be in a losing situation. In terms of when he should start week 1. You're not going to win anything. You have all year to see whether Shador is the guy or not. Give him all 17 games. I don't care if you don't expect to win the playoffs with Joe Flacco. You might as well let Shador or Dylan Gabriel start. Whoever that you want to be the starter, let them start for the whole year to see what they have. Because again, you have those 2 first-round picks next year. So if those guys aren't the answer, you could get your quarterback next year. If they are the answer, you can use those 2 first-round picks to add talent around them. Regardless, you have to see what you have in these quarterbacks now in a year that you know you're not going to win.
I just think I don't think they should start week 1 because that tough gauntlet of their schedule with defenses coming up. And Max, you said
week 1.
Well, yeah, that's week 1. But you got the Ravens, Packers, Lions, Vikings.
Lions should be a good defense. They're probably not going to be.
I mean, they can get the passer. Well, I mean, I think one of them can at least. Aiden Hutchinson, he had the defensive line playing well at the beginning of the year. So I just feel like I think it's better to ease the quarterback in, watch Joe Flacco for a few weeks, and then I think that's the best route. You can get a pretty good idea of a player off of 11 game sample size, 10 game sample size.
Fan pressure. You also have to deal with fan pressure. The moment they lose a game, the whole world is going to be clamoring for Shador Sanders to start. Like literally, they're doing it right now. They were doing it the moment he got drafted. So the moment Flacco throws a pick, they're in the first or second quarter.
All publicity is good publicity. It is.
Sure.
All publicity. That's gonna be attention. Like obviously Shador Sanders, people are gonna be tuning into the Browns, but people are still gonna watch to watch Joe Flacco fail and talk shit. And I think regardless, they're gonna get a lot of attention from it, but they may get more attention if he's not playing early on. Honestly, who knows? But I think just for the development, I think generally not throwing quarterbacks in the fire to start off is a pretty good plan to bring a quarterback in the league, in my opinion. So generally, not even in this situation, I think that's the best route. Especially with the defense they're going to be facing, how Shador definitely needs to grow knowing when to get rid of the ball, go down for a sack, and avoiding pressure and stuff like that. So that's my opinion. But yeah, I mean, we are all pretty much. So we can get into the schedule predictions. Who want to do the Browns? I can do the Browns and Steelers if that's cool, everybody. And then can you do the Ravens?
I'll do the Bengals.
Yeah, you had to make the playoffs. So yeah, go ahead.
All right, I'll cut you off. I'll name the Browns. Keep
All
you
right.
count it up. Good.
Yes.
All right.
Say the catchphrase.
All right, Latif. Let's see what the Cleveland Browns 2025 schedule looks like. I need you to predict their upcoming schedule this NFL season. First off, week 1, they host the Bengals.
Loss.
They then travel to Baltimore in week 2.
Loss.
After that, they host the Packers.
Loss.
They then travel to Detroit to play the Lions. They then host the Vikings.
Loss.
They then go to Pittsburgh to play the Steelers.
Loss.
They then host the Dolphins.
Loss.
They then travel to New England to play the Patriots.
I feel like this is their first or second winnable game. I believe in Drake May, man. Loss.
They then have a bye week, I believe. After that, they travel to New York to play the Jets.
Win. I'll give him that one. That's cool.
They host the Ravens.
Loss.
They travel to Vegas to play the Raiders.
Loss.
At home versus the Niners.
Loss.
At home versus the Titans.
Loss.
Travel to Chicago to play the Bears.
Loss.
At home versus the Bills.
Loss.
At home versus the Steelers.
Loss.
And then travel to Cincinnati to play the Bengals.
Loss.
That's 1-17, I believe. 1-16.
Yes. The Browns are going to be awful. I think their ceiling is 3 wins. I might have been a little bit too harsh with like the Tennessee loss. Maybe they beat the Bengals one time or something like that. But I think Tennessee by that time could be solid. I mean, decent wide receiver core. I think their defense is still going to be pretty solid to good this year. They could definitely win that game. So maybe a little bit harsh, but it's definitely in the realm of possibility. 1-16. They suck. So yeah. Bengals record prediction, Max. I'll say it. You have to make it in the playoffs. Let me get it up. Max, you think the Bengals can make the playoffs this year and that Joe Burrow can have an MVP level season? So let's predict their schedule. Week 1 at the Browns.
W.
Week 2 at home versus the Jaguars.
W.
Week 3 versus the Vikings on the road.
L.
Week 4 at the Broncos.
This is a 50-50 game. Again, I get made fun of for this one by the Broncos fans all the time, but I'm going to say a W.
Week 5 at home versus the Lions.
L.
Week 6 at the Packers.
L.
I actually think they can beat the Lions. I'm not gonna lie. Week 7 versus the Steelers.
If I'm correct, they don't beat the Steelers often, correct?
No.
The Steelers have their number.
And the Browns, by the way.
I know. This year's different. So I'll actually give them a win.
It always is.
This year is different. I'm giving a win versus Pittsburgh. Win.
Week 8 versus the Jets at home.
Win.
Week 9 versus the Bears at home.
Honestly, this could be a win. It could be. I'll be biased and say it's a loss. They could beat the Bears. So I'll say it's a loss, though. We'll see what the Bears team looks like.
Week 11 after the bye week at Pittsburgh.
Loss.
Week 12 at home versus the Patriots.
Win.
Week 13 at the Ravens.
Loss.
Week 14 at the Bills.
Loss.
Week 15 at home versus the Ravens.
Q, I don't know, man. I don't
Lost to the
know.
team twice last year with the worst defense.
Huh?
They lost to the team twice last year when the Ravens had the worst defense.
I understand. I think it's a loss as well this year.
Week 16 at the Dolphins.
Win.
Week 17 at home versus the Cardinals.
Win.
Week 18 at home versus the Browns.
This is the only way they make the playoffs. They have to win this game. They have to.
It'll put them at 10. Right? This puts them at 10.
They need.
Yeah. It's a win. Yeah, it has to be a win. They got to sweep them. I'm trying to think. There's no way they win at 9 and 8.
The Browns are going to be awful. The Browns are going to be awful. I mean, that's very possible.
They catch the two best times, in my opinion.
I don't know. I heard shit do it like that.
Do his record prediction. This is me.
You call it out account.
It's me.
Latif, the resident Aaron Rodgers fan. You don't believe in the Steelers. I don't know why.
R.I.P. Aaron Rodgers, man.
But you will be predicting the Steelers schedule in this upcoming season. Week 1 at the Jets, revenge game for both sides.
Win.
Week 2 at home versus the Seahawks. Sam Darnold, no KOC.
Oh, wait, where is it? At home versus the Seahawks?
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, this is a toss-up game.
I agree.
Loss.
Week 3 at the Patriots.
Win.
Week 4, home versus the Vikings.
Loss.
Coming off a bye week in week 5. That's crazy. Versus the Browns. You had them losing, bro. You just had. I mean, you had the Browns losing.
Why are we thinking about this?
Win.
Week 7 at the Bengals.
Loss.
Week 8 home versus Green Bay. Revenge game.
Loss.
Week 9 at home versus the Colts.
Win.
Week 10 at the Chargers.
Loss.
No Rashawn Slater. Week 11 home versus the Bengals.
Win.
Week 12 at the Bears.
Loss.
Week 13 home versus the Bills.
Loss.
You sure?
Loss.
Week 14 at Baltimore.
Loss.
Week 15 at home. It's going to be cold versus the Dolphins. In the cold in Pittsburgh.
It's a win, but they can lose this game.
Week 16 at Detroit.
Loss.
Week 17 at the Browns.
Win.
And week 18 at home versus the Ravens. TBD.
Max, where am I right now?
I believe you're at 7-9. I believe.
All right, that's cool. They'll win this game because the Ravens will sit their starters, but this is gonna be the first losing season for Mike Tomlin. 8-9.
I believe you're at 8-9.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's pretty much on the board.
All right. So I'm gonna get you and the Ravens.
All right. We got a lot of TikTok segments. God damn. We gonna have TikToks for days, man. This I gotta actually ask you getting all of them out, but Q, ready for the Ravens?
Yeah, man, whenever.
Max, you're reading it, right?
Oh, I'm reading it? Yeah. Sorry, I thought you were. Q, let's predict the Baltimore Ravens record for the 2025-26 NFL season. First off, they are at Baltimore.
What? At Buffalo.
At Buffalo, my fault. They're at Buffalo, week 1. Week 2, they're at home versus Cleveland.
Win.
Week 3, at home versus Detroit.
Win.
Week 4, they travel to Kansas City.
Loss.
Week 5, they host the Texans.
Win.
Week 6, they host the Rams.
Win.
Bye week in week 7. Week 8, they host the Bears.
Win.
Week 9, they travel to Miami to play the Dolphins.
Win.
Week 10, they go to Minnesota to play the Vikings.
Loss.
Week 11, they travel to Cleveland to play the Browns.
Win.
They then host the Jets in week 12.
Win.
Host the Bengals in week 13.
Win.
Host the Steelers in week 14.
Win.
Travel to Cincinnati to play the Bengals in week 15.
Loss.
They then host the Patriots in week 17. They travel to Green Bay in week. Oh, I messed that up. They then travel to Green Bay.
Win.
Then they travel to Pittsburgh in week 18.
Loss.
I definitely said that wrong for a week. My fault. Latif, what's your record predictions? What's this?
That's 13-4.
Weren't even counting, Latif?
No, I was not.
That's awesome. Great work. Great work.
All right.
We lose to the Vikings. We always lose one weird ass game.
You said Vikings and Bengals. I don't think the Vikings is that weird, but
I think that early on they're not going to ask a lot from JJ. A lot of play action, a lot of like 2 tight end looks and stuff like that. A lot of running game, but they're going to have to ask a lot for him to beat the Ravens, and he's not going to do that. All right. I want to do this first. Let me do this up.
Go for it.
Yeah, I'm excited for this because our first time doing it. If this does well, we're gonna keep doing it, man. Silence on the set. Silence on the set.
What you got? Let's go. Oh, you got to pull it up. My fault.
Yes, I do. Okay, hold on. Don't say anything. Be quiet. All right, new segment. Speak when you see a player better than Aaron Rodgers. Current day, not all time. First one up. Okay, I didn't think you guys would say anything. Next person up.
Yeah, I'm gonna speak up. I'm sorry. I'll take Bo over, and I don't even like Bo Nix like that, but I'll take Bo over Aaron Rodgers. Sorry.
Are you sure?
If I had to pick quarterback today, who I'm gonna take, Bo is not great, but Aaron Rodgers, I don't even know if he can stay on the field. So,
Q, what about you?
You can keep running for Q. You can see how far he gets. I'll take.
Max, stop it. Max, stop it. I'll keep going for Q.
Ooh.
Wait, you think AR is better than Bo? You got AR better than Bo. That's crazy.
No, he doesn't. What you mean?
I'm saying you, Latif. You putting AR farther, I feel like makes you.
No, I didn't know that. No, I didn't know that.
Okay. All right.
All right, next one up. Not Sam Darnold either. Damn.
How could you think Aaron Rodgers is? Are we serious?
Oh my god. Tua was last quarterback. That's all I had. I thought y'all was gonna say something about Tua at least.
Nah.
You take Rodgers over Tua?
I swapped them right now. They'd be just the same, probably better.
All right, that's it for that. And I gotta guess NFL team by Madden rating. That's
crazy switch. I'm the one defending there.
Yeah, exactly. Crazy.
Oh yeah.
I didn't have I was not anti Aaron Rodgers. I was anti Jets, and not because I have any beef with the Jets. I just found it utterly ridiculous why people just thought the Jets were going to be good. Like that was just mind boggling to me.
Bro, why is it not removing them from the stage?
And I was proved correct for sure.
Thank you. Shit was tweaking. All right. My bad. Yo, this shit going slow as shit. Like my button's not working. Hold on.
No way.
Bro.
Man. Bro, they gave Brock Purdy $52 million. That happened. That's real.
All right, we had a few technical difficulties. We are back. All right. Guess the NFL team. Damn. Is it echoing from y'all?
No.
Okay. Yeah, this is me. Guess the NFL team based on their Madden ratings. If you're watching the video, make sure you submit your guess before we reveal the answer. Let's do it.
I'm just looking at NFL teams just so I don't forget a team. I think off the rip, without thinking much, I was going to say the Raiders.
Gino, not a
No, this is not the Raiders.
I think
Gino
it'd be
is way higher than
disrespectful.
this one.
I think it'd be disrespectful, but it's only 89 I could think of. So
Patrick. No. This has to be.
Don't say it. Give me a sec. Give me a sec. Let me look to make sure.
It can't be. No team. There's only 4 teams with as good as a tight end. This is the Cardinals.
No, this is not the Cardinals. I think that's way too low for Kyler.
Is this the Patriots?
No, this is not the Patriots.
But they'd be crazy on Hunter Henry. Who's a good tight end? Who are we forgetting?
Running back 77, but average receiving for a great tight end. Either bad young quarterback. This is.
Oh, is this gonna be? No, that doesn't make sense. Never mind. There's no way.
I ain't got it.
Well, keep looking. I'm gonna keep looking.
On conferences?
No, not yet.
There's not that many teams with an 89 overall tight end.
Who's the Colts tight end?
Tyler Warren.
They don't have a starter above him. Trying to think of someone who could play out. Like I was thinking the Saints with Taysom Hill, but Kamara is nowhere at 77. Oh, it's the Browns. Sorry.
This is the Browns. Yes, it is.
That was stupid. Sorry.
Right?
That was stupid.
Yeah, David Njoku was 89. Yes, he is.
Makes sense. That makes sense.
What? All right.
Yeah, he's pretty overrated in his game. So yeah, he is. Next team up.
The Commanders.
Yeah.
Yes, this is the Commanders. Can you name the players?
Jaden Daniels, Zach Ertz, Terry McLaurin, Deebo Samuel, Brian Robinson.
I should have said that for the last one too. That's Max, name those players real quick.
I mean, you got Flacco starting.
Yes.
Flacco and Njoku at tight end, Jerry Jeudy at receiver 1, Cedric Tillman at wide receiver 2, and Jerome Ford at running back.
Calvin Austin.
Calvin Austin's on the Browns.
Is he not?
No, he's a Steeler. Calvin Austin's a Steeler.
That's Tillman. That has to be Cedric Tillman.
Oh, whatever. Yeah, cool.
And then running back Jerome Ford, right?
Wait, that might be wrong for the wide receiver. I ain't gonna lie. Hold on.
Well, it's definitely not Calvin Austin because I think he's still on the Steelers.
Oh, it's Deontay Johnson. It's Deontay Johnson. Deontay Johnson.
Other Steeler.
That's ridiculous.
Deontay Johnson. I forgot. Yeah, Deontay Johnson.
He not even on the team.
How is he not?
He's still fighting for a spot.
Oh, okay.
Cedric Tillman was their wide receiver too.
Last name. Last team.
This a little bit harder. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's a good mid team. Mid players. Initial one to say the Cardinals. I don't know if I'll go with that yet. It'd be tough to see a world where Trey McBride is rated higher than Mar's rated higher than Trey McBride. Um,
80 running back. Okay, a decent running back. Okay, wide receiver 2, decent wide receiver 1, low tier though. Tight end 84. 76 is too low, but is this Tampa Bay?
No, this is not Tampa Bay. I think Mike Evans is like a 90, right?
Is this New England?
No, this is not New England. Not a bad guess though.
And this has to be. Is this the Bears?
No, this is not the Bears. That's not a bad guess though.
What the hell?
A little high for Cole Kmet, but not a bad guess.
Yeah, it'd be close and Leather and Cole Kmet getting overrated. I want to say Atlanta, but Drake Glenn is like a 90. Is this the? I mean, did they disrespect Kamara that much? Is the Saints?
No, this is not the Saints.
Who do you think is the 76 quarterback on the Saints?
I don't know. Taysom somewhere. I don't know where they put Taysom.
That boy retired. He got it. He had to resign.
Taysom's he's still in the league. Taysom still plays football.
All right, this 85 wide receiver, 84. So it only makes sense that this.
Wait. I think what Latif, the tight end rate at 84. Is he underrated?
No.
You don't think he's underrated?
Not at all.
He's overrated.
I was thinking Vegas.
Is overrated.
This is Steelers.
I'm sorry?
This is the Steelers.
Yes, this is the Steelers.
Was it Jonnu?
Oh, that's Pat Freiermuth.
Crazy.
Players.
Aaron Rodgers, Pat Freiermuth, DK Metcalf, Calvin Austin, or Roman Wilson, whichever I don't know. Let's just say Calvin Austin, and Jalen Warren is starting.
Correct. That's why I said Calvin Austin on the last name, because I was thinking of the Steelers. But I was gonna give y'all a hint that they have 3 tight ends that are either at the same rating as their quarterback or higher. So they got Darnell Washington at 76. They got Jonnu Smith is 81, and Pat Freiermuth was 84. And Jonnu Smith is down there better than Pat Freiermuth. So, but yeah. All right.
You may go.
Yeah, you can go. I got a start bench cut wide receiver thing, but I've been doing my stuff for a minute. So
I have a start bench cut. I have 2 of them, so I'll go to this one first. All right, so I got a fantasy football start bench cut. Everyone's doing their teams. Everyone's drafting before this upcoming season. I have a fantasy football start bench cut, all with rookies this upcoming year. I need you guys to give a start bench cut based on who you think will finish as a better fantasy football player. The 3 players we're going with are Emeka Egbuka, Travis Hunter, and Tet McMillan.
Start Tet, bench Travis, and cut Emeka Egbuka. I'm cutting Emeka because I feel like that wide receiver room is too deep for him to have a higher impact than the other 2.
I agree with the order. Emeka is going to get wide receiver. I think him and Travis Hunter are going to get the same workload because they're both going to play wide receiver 2. Chris Godwin not playing until week 8. But Travis Hunter also, depending on how your league rules set up, if he plays defense, he gets pass deflections, interceptions, pick sixes, whatever. That could also boost up his points too. So yeah, I'd have Travis on the bench, and Tet obviously is wide receiver 1. So
all right, I have one more. So I drafted 3 fantasy teams, and I need you guys to tell me which one is the best, which one is the worst, and the middle one, obviously. I'm going to give you a quarterback, a running back, and a receiver. I need you guys to rank these teams 1 through 3. The first team is Kyler Murray, Chuba Hubbard, and Jamar Chase. The second team is Lamar Jackson, Ashton Genty, and Tyreek Hill. And the third team is Jalen Hurts, Bijan Robinson, and Devontae Adams.
Okay, the second team is the best one. I think the Kyler Murray team is the second best, and the third team is the Jalen Hurts led team.
I would have to agree, mostly because, especially since Devontae Adams, he's probably going to go into the year wide receiver 2, and he might not have his quarterback. So Bijan probably going to be running back 1.
I disagree. I disagree with the list.
Why?
I'm taking Hurts, Bijan, and Devontae over Kyler, Jamar, and Chuba.
Chuba's the weak link.
I agree, and I think Jamar's better than Bijan. I think Bijan though will be comparable. I think he'll have a good season as well. I'm taking Hurts over Kyler, and I'm taking Tay over Chuba. If I'm matching up,
I'm not sure I'm taking Hurts over Kyler. I think Kyler.
I took Kyler last year and it bit me in the ass. I think Kyler's got a great plan for a good year this year, but at the same time, I think that the Eagles.
Was like Hurts was like QB like 6.
Hurts?
Yeah, he was like QB 6.
Because when weak ass push to touchdowns, that's the reason.
Fantasy is fantasy.
Yeah.
All right, are you done, Max?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, let's do start, bench, cut, trade, AFC North wide receiver edition. The names are T. Higgins, Gary Jeudy, DK Metcalf, and Zay Flowers.
I'll be honest. If you repeat the order again, but I think it's basically in that order. Starting T. Higgins. As it stands right now, until I see another drop-off year, I'm still going to take DK Metcalf. I think it's close, but I'll take DK Metcalf and I'll bench him. I don't know is cutting or trading worse. I guess no, I take that back. I think he has value. So I'll start T. Higgins. I'll trade DK. I think his value will be name brand value. I'm going to bench Jerry Jeudy, and I will cut Zay Flowers.
Q.
I'm starting DK, benching T. Higgins. I'm trading I'm trading Jeudy, cutting Flowers.
I'm trying to think who has value. I feel like I don't think Jeudy would have value in the open market as much as DK.
Why are you starting DK Metcalf?
Him and T. Higgins do the same thing, and DK is just more physical. It's like he's just a better version of that.
Interesting take.
Doesn't run better routes because T. Higgins is not a great route runner. Neither is DK, but he's also more explosive. Hands about the same.
All right.
Body control.
That's gonna do it for our NFC North predictions and previews. I mean, yeah, not NFC North, AFC North. Pardon me. What? AFC North preview and predictions. That's gonna do it for the video. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you made it this far, we love y'all, and we are out.